it's Benzie, and we are on day 6. No, day 5. Sorry. Day 5, cycle 1.
Every time you put your YouTube voice on, I'm like, who is this? Hey guys, like, subscribe. It's like, it's a lot. I mean, go do your thing. I don't know.
You gotta do what you do. So, Clara and I just watched. So I've been going through my external hard drive during this process anyway, as just like a thing to occupy myself, and I found a log of 10 videos that I made in 2012 when I did my transition to the Uberman sleep schedule. It's not like a full log because it's only 10 videos, but it is me documenting essentially my second time being like, wow, this was too easy because my body just was like, hey, I know what's up. So I'll post that in the next video. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting to see at least that see myself from 2012 is interesting, and watch someone go through a second time when their previous time wasn't too long before it.
It also was pretty interesting when you had your friend on and talked about your first time. Like,
yeah.
So, I mean, I trust your memory to the degree I trust anyone's memory, but it was interesting seeing, like, a previous account and another person's outside account of your first time.
Yeah.
As well as, like, an ongoing account of your second time.
Yeah, and I actually didn't remember having any visual hallucinations, but they said that they remember me having them, so
yeah,
that was interesting.
Oh, and you also actually, you also forgot that you had attempted once and failed.
Oh, yeah, so really, I guess this is my fourth time, because I said in the other video I attempted once and 3 days in quit, but then did it soon after that and succeeded, so. Yeah. One thing that I actually thought was cool watching it is some of the advice I was giving. It's okay. So cute. Cute little sneezy. It's stuff that was in the book, you know, like don't sleep deprived and wait to do the naps, like, and in 2012 there was very little resources.
I'm gonna look up that Cracked article you referenced.
Oh, yeah, and I totally forgot. I used to love Cracked.com.
Yeah, great.
And they suck now, but back in the 2012, Cracked was where it was at. It was on my dailies.
Your experience with the internet is so different from mine. Like, I bet when your phone tells you a YouTuber that you subscribe to has come out with a new video, you, like, click on it and watch it.
No, I click watch later. And I have a watch later playlist.
But then you watch them later, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's different from me.
So it's actually wild. Before I moved in with you, I got my watch later playlist down to 0. Like, it builds up, and I get it down to 0 over and over again. And it now has, like, over 130 videos because I haven't been watching YouTube videos because we're hanging out.
Your routine is disrupted.
Yeah. Even though you'd think on the Uberman I'd be watching all the YouTube videos. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay.
It's really funny.
Yeah. So I'm excited I found that video. I think it'll be useful, and yeah, something I think we wanted to talk about, or I wanted to talk about, and you talked about it, so you kind of wanted to talk about it too?
Well said. I think I remember too, is you were talking about how it seems like I'm having a relatively easier time than you did your first time, even though this is my first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably true.
I think a lot of that is probably just being more prepared. Mm-hmm. And also, like, being a teenager, I had no control over the food in the house. Like, I had, like, very little control over my life, you know?
Yeah. Well, and, like, I mean, I'm a grown-ass woman, and I have a lot of practice, like, coping with things. You know? I have an autoimmune disease and, like, lots of other things, and so, like, I'm actually, my, like, ability to handle pain and discomfort is probably higher than your average healthy person.
Yeah.
So I feel pretty.
One
I feel
thing
like that's common handy.
I didn't think about either is that time in my life I had never done any psychedelic drugs.
Oh, yeah.
Which is something we have
Transformative
experience
yeah.
with now. So, I wonder if it would even, like, take a lot more for us to have a hallucination.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been, like, pulling for having any kind of, like, reality bending. I did have that one thing with the book title. I was, like, really tired.
Oh, yeah.
And this book over your shoulder, like, it had a title and then a border around the title, and it kept looking like the title was floating, like, in front of it. It looked like a magic eye or, like, some kind of 3D thing. But it wasn't, like...
crazy.
It wasn't that impressive.
Yeah.
It was, like, maybe I could have crossed my eyes and achieved the same thing. But, yeah. The other thing I think has maybe played a part in the relative smoothness, tentative, so far smoothness of my adaptation period, assuming I make it, because, you know, who knows.
Yeah.
But is also that the pandemic has seriously screwed with my sleep, as it is. So, like, over the last 3 months, my sleep completely reversed. So I was sleeping in the daytime and awake all night long. And then there were some things in the daytime that I prioritized. So I pulled some all-dayers, I guess I would call them, and then crashed for like 24 hours. Or I'd have days where I just like, there was a point where I wasn't even sure what time was my normal time to sleep. And I would just like fall asleep doing whatever I was doing. I left a lot of Zoom meetings accidentally by losing consciousness, and But anyway, that being said, I think I have sort of I've had some accidental training of being like of normalizing going to sleep at any time.
Yeah.
So that's been cool, I think. Yeah.
One thing that I was important to me to like remember from this video is I was talking about the first 2 times I didn't do any documentation, and then that second time I did 10 videos and quit documenting, like, because it was going too well. Like, it wasn't interesting, you know? So I think it's important to remember that just because you see somebody quit doing their blog about Uberman, like, doesn't mean they quit doing it.
Right, maybe their life became too fun. They stopped caring about sharing it.
Yeah. I mean, even, like, the most interesting thing about it is only 2 weeks long, and that's not a lot of time to become, like, committed to a blog, I don't think.
Yeah, although that Steve, it's not Pavlova, but it's close. Steve something, I don't know. His blog, like, he had, like, a 30-day update and a 60-day update and a 90-day update, and he talked a lot about the interesting sort of psychological adaptation that you have to do of, like, because he, like, had a family he lived with and worked from home, and he talked about a lot of interesting stuff.
And I hope to do that this time. I really have a desire to be, like, more... And this is the first time, because these other videos, they never got to the internet until now, you know? So I hope that even just posting keeps me posting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought of another reason that I think my sleep troubles of the pandemic are contributing to success on this process.
Yeah.
Because I've had so much shitty sleep and life consequences from what was happening to my sleep that a big part of my motivation in wanting to try this out was to add some structure. Because I'm just like home alone for the foreseeable future because of my autoimmune disease. And so like there's been a lot of like time is an illusion. It's just a construct. It doesn't matter. Nothing I do matters. It's just I've been imagining time as like an endless wasteland with no landmarks and no oases. It's like pretty miserable, a lot of it. But with the Uberman, I want to view time as a more like structured thing that I get to move through and like build within.
Yeah.
So I think the structure of the Uberman schedule and the sort of like aggressive like need to be really strict is really attractive to me because I've never had a strict sleeping schedule. I mean, I was a child oversleeping by hours and missing the bus and sleeping in class. I slept in every class. So I just always had troubles with my sleep, and this feels like it feels like it's serious enough that I will obey it. Does Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, if it was something that had a lot of wiggle room and you could still kind of achieve it, then I'd probably take all that wiggle room up and then not achieve anything.
Yeah.
But because it's so important that you do it, like, really perfectly, I am trying really hard to do it perfectly.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me be off camera. I didn't want to move.
Maybe if this video gets 5 likes, Clara will be
That's not how
able to get the energy to sit in the chair.
No, maybe if my legs stop hurting, I'll sit in the chair.
All right.
Make my own choices. The internet does not control me. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, still like and subscribe. Even if Clara's never on camera again, because she's just a little butter noodle. Okay. All right, we'll be back with more updates. And the next video will be the from my 2012 experience. So you'll get to see that.